Welcome to Start With The Facts. Welcome back to Start With The Facts. You are joined here by the expert hosts, myself, Maurice Claret.
That's crazy.
Expert hosts. And all of the other guys who don't have expert opinions. They got opinions, but they aren't as good as mine.
Listen, you're not going to keep doing it. We got to stand up for ourselves, guys. Y'all should sit here and be like, yeah, he's right. No, I'm
just nod my head in agreement. Yeah, the expert.
So for those who don't know, you're joined by your expert, and to my left, I got Mr. Alex Allen. To my right, I got my man Brian Inkrot, and down in sunny South Florida. And we were giving you compliments on the shirt in the background. I like the shirt that you have on, but I like that shirt in the background.
Yeah, man. Listen, Don Life is a lifestyle, not a season, baby. We got stuff for all year round. Boat season, pool parties, the whole nine.
Well, I was about to say the only person who can wear that year round are the people who down there. Like the rest of the world, we deal with snow and.
Listen, y'all got to take vacation, right? The snowbirds, where do they all come?
They all come to Florida.
Sunny South Florida.
Listen, man, get your LSU version, a Georgia version, Ohio State version. Come on down to South Beach. Mo will take care of it. You know what I'm saying? First 5 followers, DM us. Mo will take care of your whole trip. if you buy a Dime Life shirt.
If you buy a Dime Life shirt. Yeah, no, but I was giving it compliments. And for those who don't know, for those who don't join us, Dime Life is DJ's brand. I told you, I'm calling you out on this on this podcast. When we do Wednesdays, we'll be talking about business. And so one day I'm going to force you to have a different conversation about the entire business of Dime Life and just your entire business life. But, with that being said.
I'm open, I'm with it, but let's throw this little shit plug in there. We got 22 universities, not just the University of Miami. So go ahead and check it. DimeLife.com. We probably have your school.
There we go. I'll let Brian kick it off from here, and we can jump into all of the sport topics.
All right. Thanks, guys. Appreciate it. First topic of the day. We can't go a whole week without talking about the Sanders family. So Rex Ryan really helped us out earlier in the week by providing some pretty harsh criticism of Shedeur Sanders and the way he's operated the last couple of weeks, I would say, in Cleveland. And then the story got even bigger and more timely yesterday when Dillan Gabriel was named the starter heading to their game in London against the Minnesota Vikings. So a lot to talk about there, whether it's the Rex Ryan angle and was his criticism too harsh? Did they pick the right quarterback? His interview yesterday after practice where he kind of crossed his arms and mouthed his responses like he was a mime. I don't know who wants to take that one first.
Oh, a Cleveland Browns fan.
Oh, yeah, well, I'll do it in order. To me, the Rex Ryan stuff was all clickbait. And I was like, man, this dude is kind of talking very harshly about somebody who's third string. And it just felt performative. But it almost felt like when basketball season comes and news is slow, everybody talks about LeBron. And then they went through a period of time where they started talking about Bronny, right? And then Deion Sanders and the Sanders family they're so easy to talk about that everybody talks about them. So I didn't take what he said serious. I just thought like
it was for attention.
Yeah, that's how I took it. You know, maybe some other people may have like different feelings on it, but that's just my opinion of it. And then I felt like Shedeur was just trolling him back, right? It's like the guy who gets mad at the person who is trying to pick on him, and then you're basically saying like you trying to pick on me isn't working, so I'm trolling you back. And I'm trolling by miming, but then it makes this point that everybody jumps in like a tizzy of some point just from him doing that. But you also know we all created this. Like we've created the hype machine. So when you follow these guys with cameras and you watch them on reality shows and you watch him in Colorado and you stay with him for 2 or 3 days during the draft or whenever he got picked in the 5th round, like you kind of create the person that like grabs all of the attention. And so the Rex Ryan thing, I get it. You know, it was very performative. And you know, that's my take on it.
So I want to take the attention off of Sanders and let's put it to where it should be on Dillan Gabriel. So the Browns, I believe, since '99 has had 41 starting quarterbacks. Correct me if I'm wrong. Something like that, right? 41 starting quarterbacks.
Could be 50, but that sounds right.
And Joe Flacco when we're looking at his statistics, he's playing just like a rookie. So why not start a rookie, right? I don't think that Shedeur should be number 3. I think he should be number 2. Just being honest, because Frank has shown, what is he, in his 40s? He's shown what he's capable of, capable of 41 to 41. He's shown what he's capable of doing this year. Not too much. And so when you look at Dillan Gabriel, I think it's the right decision. I said the other day, one of those guys will be starting when they feel like they're ready. Now, when you look at his resume, he's been to 3 different schools in FBS. I want to say was UCF, Oklahoma, and then Oregon. And at those schools, they all had different programs. So he's been able to be successful in 3 different programs. So he's thrown for over 19,000 yards, 155 touchdowns, which is tied with Case Keenum. Don't ask me how I know that. I play a lot of NCAA football.
There you go.
Tied with Case Keenum. But so I think he has the statistics, the resume as a rookie to go in there and say, hey, I'm going to put up numbers. Now, still the Browns. So, like I often tell DJ to, hey, slow down for Browns fans and not you. Guys need to slow down. He may not be the savior, but I don't want him to get that unfair treatment of, short leash. Hey,
he's going to have a short leash.
I know, but it's unfair, right? Because of the attention, like you just said, because of the attention that we give Shedeur Sanders and who his father is, they be like, hey, I want to see him. Agree, he does sell tickets. But
we created this.
We created it.
100%.
And it's unfair for the guy who got the start not, I think.
I don't want to take – go ahead, DJ. I'll let you comment.
Well, Alex spoke about how we give them attention, and we don't give the Sanders family anything. They take it, right? They take it, right? And we saw that in the interview the other day, right? Dillon wrote the playbook when it comes to marketing and branding yourself.
Correct.
Right? And if you look at his family and his sons, they are a carbon copy of him. Right? So if we think that at some point in time, Shedeur Sanders is going to sit and be docile, we're fooling ourselves.
Mm-hmm.
Right? So at any way they try to manipulate the situation and change it and silence him, he's going to figure out a way to garner attention, just like he did. He did he pulled a 2025 Marshawn Lynch. Marshawn Lynch was forced to get interviewed, so he went out there and said, I'm just here to get fined. Yeah. Right? What did Shedeur do? Shedeur is doing an interview, and because everybody's talking about how brash he was about mentioning him being better than a lot of starting NFL quarterbacks. Hey, you're the third stringer. You shouldn't be talking. So what did he do? He did an interview where he didn't talk. He did an interview where he didn't talk. To be honest, I look at the situation and I understand Dillan Gabriel was drafted before him, right? They've given him more money. And so it feels like they're going through the natural steps in progression. But at the end of the day, Shedeur Sanders is going to get his chance this season. Yes. He's won in high school. He brought Jackson State a championship. He brought a Colorado team to national attention that I believe only won 2 or 3 games prior. The kid is a winner. His father's a winner. He's over the top confident. Go ahead and give him a chance. Give him a shot. He goes out there and stinks it up. That is the only way you'll be able to shut him up. But he's so confident within himself that he's willing to risk that by basically pushing the envelope and keeping himself in the media on a weekly or bi-weekly basis by garnering attention, even though he's a third-string quarterback.
So I want to tie a couple of comments from this week on this show together to follow up here with Maurice with a follow-up question. A couple of days ago, Alex said Shedeur wasn't getting snaps at practice. He was with the scout team, but not with the actual offense and or with the first or second team offense. And we laughed at him, and he ends up being right. So kudos to Alex for being correct. Sorry, we doubted you. So you have Dillan Gabriel getting snaps. You have you are the expert. We have Shedeur Sanders really not getting any action, right? So as the third quarterback, he's staying as the third quarterback. He's still not going to get snaps this week or even next week. Okay, so that's number one. Number two, you look at no quarterback has gotten their first start overseas in one of these games in Dublin or London. So nobody has ever flown overseas to start their first NFL game. So Dillan Gabriel is going to be the first to ever do that. So you consider the time change, the unfamiliarity of the week leading up to it. It's all going to be different for him. Maurice, is it far-fetched to say that come Monday morning, Dillan Gabriel, the Minnesota Vikings are going to go out and beat the shit out of the Browns? Dillan Gabriel is going to have a rough first start. I mean, most NFL rookies do. And that when you combine the fact that this is overseas and out of his element, what the heck do the Browns do Monday morning?
Well, let me tell you this. At some point, whether it's Monday, whether it's 2 weeks, 3 weeks, 4 weeks, at some point, he's just not going to play as well as they want him to, right? And at that point, they're basically going to be pressured to put Shedeur in. It's kind of like what DJ was saying. Like, at some point, I don't care who you are, just the law of averages, somebody has your numbers, somebody knows what you do and don't do well, and he's going to play bad. It's inevitable.
Is it Monday? Is it as soon as Monday? If he plays poorly.
If he turns the ball over, you will have people screaming on every radio station, across every paper, across every blog, across every Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, everything. And they'll be playing 1,000 plays, and then they'll have to do, I don't know which day media day is in NFL, but on media day, they'll be screaming for Shedeur to get in. It's what DJ said, like what I keep on saying, and I just don't know how to articulate it a different way. Like, we created this, and the Browns created this when they drafted him in the 5th round, right? So if this wasn't the Browns and it was the Minnesota Vikings, like, somebody was going to deal with this, right? And so to me, like, they're dealing with it differently. I would probably go in the direction that Alex was talking about, when I would make him the backup and I wouldn't because like you know what you're getting with Joe Flacco, right? You know exactly what you're getting. I would damn near be playing both of them now and just seeing what you have that's going on out there. But when you create this situation where I don't want to say you're pitting both people against each other, but it's either like one or the other, when you can be getting active reps with both of them during the game, and you can kind of see how it plays out over the long haul of the season. And so I'm happy I'm not, I don't have to be in that seat to make that decision.
Well, wait. Everybody was commenting on the channel that they wanted you in that seat. They want you as the Browns GM. Well, how many people said you need to be on that coaching staff, general manager, making these decisions? You got to support the fans in their You want the job.
Change my mind.
Hey, that money talk.
So Browns, I'm making my pitch right now.
Hey, it'd be the greatest comeback ever.
Alex, I got UConn Huskies, we won. Ohio State, we won. Might as well take my talents up to Cleveland and Berea and join Kevin Stefanski and advise his ass, because he fucked up, right? He's fucks up. But I don't know. I don't know how you deal with this shit. Like, okay, these are my answers. I don't know how the fuck you deal with this shit. Like, I wouldn't be in this situation. I would probably be, I wouldn't even play Dillan Gabriel. I would be worried about selling tickets. Like, fuck this, right? I'd be like, look, neither of you motherfuckers about to take us to the Super Bowl, but we need to generate some money.
And build for next year. As lifelong Browns fans, that's what we do. It's always building for next year.
Who gonna help us sell these tickets? Who gonna help us sell these jerseys? Who's gonna help with concessions? Who's gonna help with parking? Hey, Shedeur, what type of school events can I take you to go speak out after this? Shedeur, some of the motherfuckers who were standing on the sideline in Colorado, we need to get them to Cleveland. We need to make this shit cool. That would probably be my pitch, because I don't think him or Dillan Gabriel are going to do enough to get outside of Joe Burrow, Lamar Jackson, and Aaron Rodgers. I don't think we're not going to win the division this year or next year. Got a good defense, but I would make it more about celebrity. Like, so Dillon knew in Colorado that they weren't very good, right? But he made a spectacle out of it. He made it very entertaining. Jerry Jones, what does he do in Dallas? Like, we'll be good enough, but let's make it entertaining. That's my game plan, right? That's
come out and just tell
everyone.
Mo, okay.
Mo,
all right. An approach for sure.
Mo, if you get the Cleveland job, can I be your fix-it guy?
Let's go.
Look, Alex Security. I'm your fix-it guy. No, you're both. Let's run the money up. Let's get them for all of. I just want to be.
What about me and Will?
Nah, I'm gonna throw you in there. Obviously, Will is content.
I'm waiting.
Right? Obviously, Will is content. What do you want to do?
No, I'm waiting for my job. Put me in, coach.
What do you want to do? Alex took his job. Quarterback coach?
Yeah.
You haven't played?
You don't have to.
It makes sense. Cleveland Browns. Let's do it.
We're going to be a fun team. All right, we're going to keep it in the NFL. I don't know if you guys saw this. Akib Talib was on Gilbert Arenas' podcast, I think yesterday or the day before.
The day before.
And made some really interesting comments about why Tyreek Hill got hurt that had nothing to do with the fact that the turf was off, or it could have been just a misfortunate incident. But he felt like the football gods had spoken because of the way Tyreek Hill had handled himself the last couple of years, maybe around women. Because it's a Miami thing, DJ,
Yeah.
we have to start with you.
First, I'll say I believe that Akib 100% believes that this is caused by the football gods. Football players are very religious, very superstitious.
Yeah, very
right? Like, I myself have prayed to the football gods many a times. Currently, right now, my second and fifth unborn son are already owned by the football gods. That's how many times I've went to them like, hey, can you help me out here, right? And when I think about it, like, I know people use the term, I put that on my mama. Me and my boys, we used to put it on our ACL.
Oh,
Like,
man.
that's how, like, if you wanted to know that I was serious about some shit, I wasn't putting it on my mama. I was like, yo, I put that on my ACL, bro. Right? That's how superstitious, that's how religious football players are. So I 100%.
Hey, that's the first time I heard somebody say, put it on my MC.
But now that I said it, think about it. Like,
Yes, sir.
if you was an active player, would you fuck around with that? Exactly. So I 100%.
I will put my ACL on my
Wait, you gonna put it on your mama before your ACL? So look, I 100% Akib Talib believes that, right? So you know, I'm not gonna argue against his karma because I was one of those guys. I probably still am one of those guys. And when he said it, a lot of people in the football world was like, yeah, that shit, yeah. Football guys is real.
Alex, you ever pray to the football gods?
I don't pray to no other God. But
Offer up your
That's
ACL
crazy,
as
dog.
sacrifice.
That's crazy.
I don't. I love the sport, but I think it's me having 2 season-ending injuries. I broke my hip, tore my ACL. I don't play with injuries. So when I seen him, I'm like, man, that's crazy. Now I don't condone what he's been doing off the field. We don't know if it's true or not. I mean, I know some of it in the past has been, but that's just another story. But to say those things, and DJ, you kind of gave me a different perspective because I was kind of angry at first.
Yeah.
You know, because I had those injuries. But when you say it like that, I can't take that away from that guy. If that's what he really believes, you know what I mean? If that's what Talib believes, that's what he believes. So I can't get angry at it. But speedy recovery for Hill.
Alex, I want to ask you a question.
Please.
Where were you playing when you got injured both of those times?
What do you mean? In
What
college?
type of surface?
Turf.
But you were playing in college.
In college, yes.
Oh, because I was trying to tie it back in to when you was playing in Brazil, and I was gonna say, yeah, I knew your ass was living wrong.
Oh no. See,
I was hoping you said Brazil.
No,
I was
man.
gonna say I knew it. I knew your ass was living wrong. You was out there drinking cachaça. You was out. I knew it. I wanted it so bad.
I never prayed to the football gods, but I prayed to God about football. So after I
Gotcha.
had those injuries, I was just, there's certain covenants that I created with God. You know what I mean? So when I was in Brazil, if I was in season, trust me, I was an angel. Just leave it at
Okay.
that.
All right.
See, I always
We
know
gonna
where to
get to
go.
digging.
If I want to get a respectful response, I just turn over here to my right and I look at Alex, and I know I'm going to get something very respectful.
Yeah.
With you two, I have no idea. I can never tell what's going to come out. Maurice, anything about the football gods?
I mean, that's just like, you know, whether you playing basketball in the hood growing up or just playing the sport in general, somebody gonna say basketball gods, football gods, and we all think that there's some other force that governs, you know, the thing that we're doing or the karma, and it's more just a terminology. So I definitely understood what he was saying, and I will say this: when I got incarcerated. And when I was incarcerated, I was like, yo, like I'm incarcerated for the karma or the things that have happened, right? So you do believe that you're catching the other end of the pendulum from things that you've done wrong, right? Where
Absolutely.
you have to pay like in some capacity. So this is what I do believe. I do believe the harm, or I'm not saying that. Let me preface this the right way. I'm not saying this in a way that he did anything wrong to any woman. I don't know if he did or didn't do anything with domestic violence, right? Injuries are random or whatever, right? But I think the same harm and intention that you inflict on other people's life with things that are important to them, or the pain that you cause other people, things that are important to you will basically be harmed the same way. I just believe that that's like the some sort of reciprocity or some sort of like proportional thing that happens to you in life. That's just my personal beliefs. And so whether that has anything to do with football gods or not, I can basically tie back to whenever I've intended to do something wrong to somebody and things happened in my life, I would tie like how I was living to the event. And it's the same thing when you're living clean, when you keep on giving good to the world and keep on sowing in like help to others and to humanity, and then you have good things come in your life, I can tie those things back to that. And so maybe Akib said it in a different way, and maybe DJ was kind of saying it in a different way, but I do believe that in some capacity. And I don't, and that's not like very religious, it's just how like I believe.
Well, I think a transition to the next topic then would be prayers probably go up to either your God or the football gods during overtime. And there are a lot of overtime games this last weekend. When you look at Oregon playing at Penn State, went into overtime. And so we saw college's version, right? The NCAA version of overtime. And then the Cowboys, Packers went into overtime in the NFL. And we got to see a very different way that overtime was handled. Can one of you guys kind of set up the differences between the two? And maybe we can talk about as a fan and for you guys as former players, which one makes more sense?
DJ, you want to talk about the rules?
You think I know the goddamn rules? I just got an opinion of how the outcome. Look, what did Brian say when he knows who he's supposed to go to? That was fucked up, dog. You trying to throw that shit on me. Hey, you know I don't know, and you just wanted to prove I did. That's fucked up. You trying to throw that shit on me, dog. No. Go ahead, get the rules.
So when it comes to, and it's recently changed for NFL, it used to be sudden death, but past few years it has now been each team gets a possession. And so if they, after the first overtime, well, only one overtime, if that time expires, then it's a tie, depending on how it ends. Mm-hmm. In college, you start from the 25, I believe. 25, yeah. And then from there, you get a drive apiece. You know, usually the guys that take defense because they know what they have to get after that. And then after that second overtime, if you score, you got to go for two. If there's a third overtime, you just go back and forth for 2-point conversions. And so that's the rule of it. I don't want to be long-winded, so I'll let you go ahead and talk about what you think about it.
Man, that's just stupid.
I agree. Thank you. Thank you.
Like you get dressed to play a game, so one person says, I have more points than you.
Yeah.
You play 3-4 fucking hours, and then you just say, we tied.
The tie is the stupid part.
Yeah.
The tie is, to me, what the fuck are we playing for? Like, we're supposed to play like, I got dressed and I'm tackling you, breaking tackles, blitzing till we get to the same place that we started from. This is stupid, bro. I don't even know how you sit down at the top of the year and organize a group of people who are so smart to say, man, if this thing ends in a tie, like, we're cool with that. No, bro, that is sports.
So I'm sorry. I just had a thought because you always think in business. Could it be because in the NFL the games go so long and the TV rights is out of time?
No. You can turn to a different channel. The game can still continue. You know what I'm saying? Like, do you think that when the people say, "Oh, the TV cut off and it's not being broadcast anymore, we're about to get up out of our seats"? They're gonna sit there and watch you play to the death of it. That's like in boxing, you have 12 rounds, right? And when you're done with those rounds, if it happens to be a draw, that's one thing, right? There's no more rounds to keep on boxing, right? And you already set that as 12 rounds. In football, you're basically trying to you're trying to say like that's like this is the set amount of time. No, you can keep on going. Like boxing and football is just two different sports. I mean, so I can be long-winded, but I will be saying the same thing over and over again. But it's all gonna come back to this shit is stupid.
Yeah.
I want to play until somebody wins. That's just my opinion.
Can I ask you a follow-up?
What?
Play until somebody wins. So would you do it in the format of the NFL and you just keep guys marching up and down the field till somebody wins?
I would.
Or do you do it like college where you start on the 25 and they're drives?
You're forcing somebody to take a chance, or you're forcing somebody to take a 2-point conversion, and a 2-point conversion is harder to convert than a field goal. Yeah. I would keep on forcing them to, hey, you have to give 2, we have to give 2. And at some point, somebody's not going to convert. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
And I would use the college format, but that's just my opinion. And I would keep on going until somebody was done, until somebody could stop them.
DJ, what do you think?
I'm so surprised you guys just dropped the ball and let this fall in my hands. Like, I'm so surprised. I thought Alex was going to hit on it when he started talking about the business of the NFL. I guarantee that they know the statistics of injuries that happen throughout games, right? When you prolong an NFL game, what are you putting at risk? Players, the money, right? So the NFL, over the last few years, what have they made in an initiative? Safety of players, changing the different rules, changing the different turfs, right? So I think that's probably one of the main reasons, right? After you've played 3.5, 4 hours of ball, now you're going to get these guys to go into this crazy sudden death where they're fatigued and they're extra straining, extra hard. Like, people know within the red zone and within the goal, around the goal line and in the red zone, that is different football than playing out at the 50.
Yes.
Right? The dimensions are locked in. There's a lot of bodies moving around. There's much more impact. So I believe that the reason the NFL doesn't continue to do it is probably because of injuries. Now, I would like them to implement something, right? Not the college style, but I think they should do something sudden death. And this is just on some get hype shit, right? So in college, we used to end practice and we used to kind of have stalemates, right? In college, we would, do situations where offense versus defense, and sometimes it would end up in a stalemate. So what we do is we would choose either a running back or a linebacker, a D-line or an offensive line, a receiver or a DB or a tight end, and a safety. And we would do 1 rep, sudden death. So just imagine this right now. Game on the line. Whoever won last week or last time we did this gets to choose what position goes, and they get to choose who they want. So imagine this, game on the line, 1-on-1 pass rush, me versus Maurice. Can he stop me from getting to the quarterback? Game on the line, and this was the livest shit that I ever saw in my life, and it was so live. Everybody was just so excited that these two got paired up and matched as a sudden death to end the practice. I don't think anybody ever remembers who won. I just remember there was a stalemate at practice. Offense got to choose, and offense at the 10-yard line, 1-on-1, called out Kellen fucking Winslow. We called out Sean fucking Taylor.
Yeah.
And that shit erupted. Like, Again, to this day, I can't tell you who won the match, but just the hype and the emotion of like a sudden death or something like that. So I think the footballs try to figure out something, right, to kind of go in that mode or that model. But again, ending games at a tie when you have grown men out there, blood, sweat, and tears, it just doesn't make sense. There's a better model. Of course, they won't choose my shit, but my shit will be lit.
It's about selling tickets. Hey, you gave a hypothetical when you said you versus Maurice. Start with the facts. You guys played against each other, right? You have to pick up the blitz?
No, we never had to pick up the blitz. They didn't blitz.
Maurice tried to cut me 4 times. He tried to, in the national championship game, he tried to cut me 4 times.
So you said he failed 4 times?
No. Every time they ran that damn quarterback draw with Krenzel, quarterback sneak. No, that shit wasn't no sneak. That shit was a quarterback power off. Stop fucking, it just happened to work out that way.
It was power off.
Listen, Alex, you said it. This motherfucker came gnawing at my knee bone.
Hey,
he came, and I jumped out the way like, oh, shit.
Hey, DJ.
Yeah.
I've seen you in college. I've seen your pictures, bro. I'm going the same route.
At the end of the day, I wasn't blessed with a lot of moves. So I think Maurice is going to know exactly what I'm coming to do.
Smart play.
Bull rush. So, and listen, he's squatty body, 220. He got a little enough. I think he may be able to hold on to the fort, and it just sucks because I don't have a lot of weapons and a lot of moves. So I'm just coming to bull rush, and if I can get that 220 on one leg, we're going to.
It's over, yeah.
Talking about another college running back, Mekhi Hughes out at Oregon, played his first couple of years, I think 2 years at Tulsa, decided to transfer. Correct? Tulane. 2 years at Tulane, decides to transfer to Oregon, thinking, this was obviously a step up as far as competition. more eyeballs on him. Is a prospect to go into the NFL. I mean, that's his dream. And prior to the season, that was a dream that he felt, and I think most fans felt like was going to be realized. However, last week does not travel with the team to play the game at Penn State. So he's decided, and he's put in a request, and Oregon has granted his request to redshirt this season. Because what is it, 4 games played?
4, yes.
Is it 4 or less, you can redshirt?
Yes, 4.
So we talked a lot about redshirting and transfer portal and how that impacts players and teams and coaches. Alex, you want to kick this one off first and give kind of your opinion on his situation and how you feel about it?
Yes. So although, I want to stay true to what I said about the transfer portal, I think from him going from Tulane to Oregon is the right way. You go from a ACC, or is it AAC up to the Big Ten. You want to see what you can do. But at some point, you got to be real with yourself, and I think he's being real with himself now. Like, I'm not maybe as good as I thought I was. I'm the 4th on the depth chart. I believe he rushed for 1,400 yards in the last 2 seasons at Tulane. And now he's got 70 yards, I think. And he's like, yo, I got to either go somewhere else where I can play and it's not so crowded, or I'm going to stay, and there's no point in staying. So the decision that he's making, I wouldn't say he's running. I'm saying he's running to a better situation. But at some point when you're there, you got to just be real with yourself. Being from Tulane, that's a big jump.
Big jump.
No, nigga ain't good enough. That's what it is. Yeah, he was trying to say it another way, man. This is no offense to the kid. Just, hey, look, brother, Oregon, Ohio State, Miami, just some of these premier programs, they have guys who look and perform just like you. And those guys could probably go down to Tulane and perform just the same way that you did. But what separates people at the next level is really mentality. Mm-hmm. And everybody can run a 4.4, 4.5, whatever the hell they do. Everybody can jump 36 and above inches. Everybody can do all of the measurables, But understanding the game and just the mentality that you have, it becomes different, And when you see Dan Lanning, he's an intense dude. I can imagine those practices are intense. I can imagine that, how you may practice at Tulane is not how you practice at Oregon. And I think that, I've seen guys transfer into Ohio State, and that's the biggest thing, just having to give everything that you have every single day, and, not having programs that I don't want to call, Tulane of lesser stature, but, programs that you come from, if they're not used to that, you can get into an environment where it just becomes a lot for you. You know what I mean? And so maybe this may be the best business decision for him, where he says, hey, man, let me get acclimated for a year. But then also, I know when you go into these running back rooms and you look at people, and you're like, yo, like, I'm not as good as him. You know what I'm saying? And just he's better. Or it could be this. It could be you're good, but you're just behind somebody who's very fucking good. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? That's a scenario. So, me, I don't know. Everybody has different advice that they can give to the kid. I don't know if it's the right decision or the wrong decision. But I don't know. Just who I am as a person, I'm fighting. I'm not taking no fucking red shirt. I'm going to say, hey, man, at some point I'm going to get my chance and get my shot. And especially if I've uprooted myself to come over here, I obviously had an opinion on who was here, but it's something else that has mentally beat you up, that has caused you to say, hey, man, let me throw on the white flag. And me, bitch, I'm going to get on special teams. I'm going to run down the field and do something. But just my attitude towards life, like I'm just not, I'm not throwing the white flag.
You're not going to run away.
Fuck no, never.
That's surprising to me, but you talk about business decisions often. You know what I mean? If he don't play, he ain't getting drafted. He ain't going to the league. So he got to do like a red shirt. Got to make sure I get these stats.
Guys,
red shirt and stay.
Guys, is today real? Is today real? Because these are layups that y'all usually slam dunk home, and y'all motherfuckers just keep missing. You don't understand what he's doing. He just stole an extra year. He just stole an extra check. Come on, Mo. You the money man. You the businessman. Listen, it ain't okay. You're right about the competition, but by redshirting, that year doesn't count, which means he gets another year of eligibility in college, which means he gets to go to another program and he gets another check. He's finessing the system. It's a combination of what both of y'all are saying. My man is saying, you know what? I'm going to see how many times I can fucking do this shit. Right? Old boy at Miami played 9 years in college.
Yeah.
So
great point.
He's getting an extra check, right? He's not playing. We all understand and know why he's not playing. He moved up to a big time program. He's not good enough, right? So, yeah. But him saving that extra year, that's about the check, baby.
Better than going into the workforce.
That's an extra check. So now the question is, since he's finessing the system, are other guys going to follow suit? And then is the NCAA going to implement a new rule on how many times you can do this? Because again, at the end of the day, if he did what he did at Tulane, it was Tulane, right?
The Tulane, yes.
And there's still programs, next year that will bring him in and give him a check.
Oh, 1,000%.
So, of course, he has NFL aspirations, but at the end of the day, it's like, damn, I can still have my NFL dream.
But I can get another year.
I can go back and get another $400,000, $300,000. Shit, yeah. Let me see how many times I can finesse this.
Oh, and see the field.
No. I'm gonna just keep going. I'm gonna be a 4 and done guy.
Let me say this. I'll say this. You know what they're also in? Like NFL Europe used to be a thing. These kids are really saying like there's no other minor league that pays like a great college program, and the money you make pays way better than arena ball, NFL Europe, or
a job,
UFL, or a job. And I can work out, stay in shape, travel with the team, go play some games, and so
all my meals are included.
College is paying better. College is paying better. If you're not a primetime player in the NFL, if you're at the bottom
college
of the NFL, college pays better.
Pays to stay.
Yes. And you can get these NIL deals, off the field. Like if you are the 5th string tight end on an NFL team, you're getting league minimum. Or if you are a top tight end in college, you're getting more money and you're getting an opportunity to make money off the field in the NIL. There's nobody in the NFL that's 5th string or at the bottom of the depth chart getting money off the field.
No.
So DJ, kind of that was my follow-up with the transfer portal and some sort of limitations, whether it's 1 or 2. I think 1 would make sense, but do you feel like with the transfer portal and NIL and all the movement that's probably the easiest solution that's in front of the NCAA right now is to limit transfers between schools? What do you guys think?
I'll be real quick. I think the NCAA has to do something about the system and the transfer portal and all that as a whole, because the players have too much power. And, I do want to instill power and things like that in players, but they have too much power. And again, it's unfair to the program. It's unfair to your teammates that can just hop, bounce around, and jump around. And there's no sustainability and there's no stability within it, right? You have, at the end of the day, man, college football is going along the lines of the NFL. Yeah. They need to just implement the same damn system and the same damn rules, right? For there to be a consistent, good product on the field.
Yeah, whenever I hear about the transfer portal being talked about, like even at Ohio State, and I just, that's the only reference point I have because that's the closest football program I'm talking about. So you have kids who are fighting to say, hey, I may have come from a shitty high school program and I want an opportunity to go to the NFL. I don't want to go to a better program. So the people like at Ohio State, the Alabamas, the Michigans, the Miamis, all these people have said, hey, let us pay these kids to be brought in. But what you create on the backside of that is a void at the bottom. And those people need to then bring players in out of transfer portals to come into there. Because, we always talk about transfer portals with people coming up. But as you steal those players from other places, they have to replace them. You know what I'm saying?
That's a good point.
Yeah. So, and then you're having 2 different sets of circumstances and 2 different, just two different sets of circumstances. So I don't, how about this? I was at practice Tuesday with Jim Trussell, and to hear Jim Trussell and Ross Bjork talk about this, I was like, man, I don't know how you ever, even over the next decade, start to solve this because you have too many different scenarios, TV rights, people who generate revenue, people who don't generate revenue, Title IX, employment, media rights. Like, in college football, you don't have the ability to collectively bargain your media rights. Did you know that?
No.
No.
So I'm going to bring our lawyer friend Ryan Stubenrausch on to explain this. And so the reason that we will never get a super conference of some sorts, because everything is driven from TV, and we all can't collectively come together to bargain or to collectively bargain TV rights. It is a law or something like that that's in place.
I think that's why the Big Ten, I think today or yesterday, there was an announcement that they're looking at putting a level of leadership above the Big Ten. It's like Big Ten media rights, and it's going to be a collective of all of the universities with some decision-making power sitting above the Big Ten. But right now, Michigan and Ohio State are holding out from signing on to that because
they're Michigan and Ohio State.
Well, because the proposal is
they're Michigan and Ohio State.
Hold on, no, so
And
DJ,
you'll never get the SEC to join.
yes, but DJ, so they were talking about this. You know what the Big Ten's biggest fear is? If Ohio State or Michigan decides to pull out of the Big Ten.
right.
Because they support so much of what's going on within the Big Ten. And so, as we just imagine this, imagine you're at a premier university, number one university in the country right now, right? And they can't figure it out, or they don't have the answers, right? You just ask yourself, like, how far are you away with all of the other stuff? Because you have to remember, they still have to run a university. You still have to do your day-to-day job, right?
Right.
And then let alone this massive undertaking of designing rules that make sense for most people to get them on the same page.
That there's no blueprint for.
That there's
It's all new. Do we take money from the Saudis, right? From the investment
This is what I'm
fund?
saying.
Run it up.
Is it U.S. based private equity? What's the next step? There is no blueprint for this. I'd imagine there's a lot of sleepless nights for people trying to figure that out.
Oh, everybody's guessing, and then as you implement something for the short run, then a new set of problems comes up, because what works for Ohio State doesn't work for the masses. But Ohio State is saying was like, we don't give a fuck what works for the masses. We care about what works for us, and that's everybody like basically negotiating their own interests. So I don't know. I say all that to say, I asked Ryan let me just explain this part. I was at practice, and I was saying, where do people find this information at? Like, everybody's like, we don't know. And I said, can we start like even just a small section of like a place where you can just find information? You're like, okay, that shit makes sense, and talk about something in a comprehensive way. And maybe we may be the source of like reliable information in regards to some of the stuff. So that's
I can't be a part of those shows.
You've proven today you can. You've proven today that you can.
For the better good of the team, I understand there will be some away games that I just have to stay home.
You gotta stay home.
I will. I understand that, man.
Oh, we need you to know you dealing with licensing.
Oh, because I'm gonna be the one that throws out the shit that needs to get fixed. Speaking like the common man. Okay, I get it.
All right, we're gonna move out of college football. Talk about. I don't think we've hit the WNBA topic yet since we've been together on this podcast, but there were some really interesting comments made yesterday, I think, in a post-game interview. Day before yesterday by Nafisha Collier. Am I saying that right? Mm-hmm. And man, she came prepared, pretty well thought out statement, and was very clearly targeting a person and really a group of leadership in the WNBA. I already know what Maurice is going to say, so I'd like to start with somebody else.
I think that Kathy, I'm gonna call her by her first name like I know her, is a bully and in a leadership role. She's not a leader. She's a bully in a leadership role. And hearing these comments, it takes for Fee to come out and say what she said takes some guts. And I'm glad she did it. You can say it was the worst time to do it and do it in private, but she said those things behind other athletes' back and saying that you should be grateful for this or you should have done this. But she didn't say it to their face. You know what I mean? So why not come to the front and say, hey, you're wrong. I think this is bad. What you did needs to be exposed. And I'm glad she exposed it. So now, and I watched the show with It Is What It Is. They're like, yo, she didn't say that she didn't do it. She just tried to sideswipe it. Just, if you got something to say it to them. You know what I mean? Say it to Caitlin Clark in her face. But I think she's a bully, man. And I'm glad that Fee came up and she said something about it. DJ, what are you saying, man?
So, hold on, Mo. When did the injury happen?
So I couldn't find it that quick. I seen he was living. Well, Will can do the research, or Alex can do it. But I'll give a couple comments on here because I thought Brian, I thought he was going to mention Caitlin Clark, and that was like a big part of the story. So it's really
Why? Because she's white?
Yeah,
I
because
was going to bring it up. He didn't give me a chance. I was going into that, but yeah, you take it.
no, I mean it's two things. I'll kind of shuffle through the comments with Alex and DJ. So the first thing is that one, I do to a degree agree that that was like a private conversation. They should have basically had their private moment. Like I wouldn't want to say something with me and DJ and then see DJ on some type of podium talking about what me and DJ talked about in private, right? And, you know, even if there was some discrepancy of he may have felt bad about what I said, I still wouldn't want him running to social media. But that all comes from like, you know, we all come from different generations. We all come up different ways of what we believe, how we conduct business and certain etiquettes. And so I'm just from the generation from the thought that our private conversation shouldn't be a public deal. But I also do understand Alex when he said that she's a bully behind closed doors. And some people may feel like, hey, I've got to the point where I've said everything to you. And the only way that me getting something done is to shame you publicly, right? So I've probably read too many books on perspective that I've like always see, like I'll think about how somebody else thinks to something and how they've come to the conclusion. And even though I don't agree with it, I understand how they got there because they're there doing it. Like, you know, if they weren't there doing it, it wouldn't. The fact that they're doing it makes sense as to why they did what they did. But just me personally, I don't agree with it. I was more surprised at the comments about Caitlin Clark. And I thought the commissioner was black, right? I'll be honest with you. When I see there was a white woman talking about another white woman, I was like, oh shit, that's surprising. And so that like kind of surprised me. I was surprised that she was critical of Caitlin Clark. But this is what I said on It Is What It Is, right? In regards to the Caitlin Clark thing, I've never gotten this in life, right? Where people say, yo, Brian, I paved the way for you. And then they resent the benefits of the people who they resent the people who are getting the benefits of the road paved. Like, it's like, you know, you should be grateful. Like, I'm grateful, I'm happy, but like, I don't have to kiss your ass. You know what I'm saying? I'm living my life as a young person. I'm enjoying my life as a young person. And it's also, I don't like how you discredit what people also do for the brand. So just as much as Caitlin Clark needs the league to have a platform, like she's a great fucking player. You know what I'm saying? And she was producing and doing elsewhere, and she was a great person. So sometimes people inflate their own value. You know, I think that, you know, people like
when you say people, are you speaking about
the commissioner?
Caitlin Clark? Oh, commissioner.
No,
okay,
so the commissioner.
I got some good pushback.
Yeah, the commissioner, so yes, you created a league. Jerry Jones, let's keep this to football. Jerry Jones, you've created the Cowboys, you've created the platform, you've created all that. But DJ Williams in California was doing his work as well. And both of those worlds just happen to come together and they make the product better. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And both people are better because they exist, right? And sometimes the person who creates the environment in business, when we're negotiating, you have leverage to handle business, but it's not to say socially that these both things don't come together and create value for one another. And so, but either person shouldn't inflate their value towards the thing. Like everything needs each other to transform and become Voltron. You know what I'm saying? That's my perspective. I just don't like how sometimes when it seems like people get older, they sort of like deflate the value of other people just because how they handle their celebrity may be a little bit different than what they feel the celebrity should be handled like. You know what I'm saying? Like people end up conflating issues to me where I don't like Brian, so I'm going to discount everything he does because whatever. But I got going down the wrong road, but I'll let you finish your point.
I want to say something before you go, B. I think the issue is, and when you look across all these leagues, that the leagues understand that players are replaceable, especially in this day and age. We just want to consume content. We want to be entertained, right? And I'll give like an exaggerated fucking example, right? Like if somehow the NFL players all collectively came together and said, fuck it, we're going on strike, I believe a big portion of this country would be turning in watching 37U, right? And 37U now, will it become what the NFL is? No, but these owners probably wouldn't have to dish out as much money and they'd figure out a way to monetize it. right? So
We can agree to
again, when you look at the relationship and the partnership, right? At the end of the day, the NFL, these are the leagues, and I do agree that they're giving these players a platform. Now, is there a partnership where the players are actually pushing the product as well and building the brand? Yes, but the issue is these owners understand that these players will never, ever be able to come together collectively and strike and hold out because everybody ain't making the same money.
Yeah, correct.
And there will be individuals that will step over that line, right? There will be individuals that are in college that don't have the same mindset, that are not as business savvy, that college career might have been over, never even gotten to the WNBA. I'll fucking come up and play. And they understand. Every 3 to 5 years, there's going to be another Caitlin Clark. There's going to be another Angel Reese. There's going to be it's going to happen, right?
Yes.
And so, because I've been a part of a holdout with the NFL, and at the end of the day, it was easy for me to hold out, but now 30-40% of my teammates
Can't afford it.
can't afford it. They're borrowing money in the offseason. Those guys are going to step over the line and shit. Some of them could be great. They just may not have gotten that opportunity. So these leagues understand that there's going to be line steppers. And at the end of the day, the audience is fiending for any type of content. And they'll be able to take something that is not as great as a product as the NFL, package that shit up, put it out there, and be able to monetize it.
I'll give you my 30-second response on it. The players are negotiating for better salaries. Those negotiations aren't going well. Public perception is you're losing money. The owners really aren't making money. This is what the public thinks. The owners aren't making money. The players are losing the league money. They're not thankful and appreciative of what they're getting. So public perception is not on the player side right now. What she did in this press conference was take two polarizing players with two different fan bases, with Angel Reese and with Caitlin Clark. And I don't know if the commissioner said this or not. It's not on tape. It's not recorded. But she said, right, that Kathy said this about these two superstar players that fans know and love, one or the other, not always both. She completely flipped the public perception of the WNBA and what the players are fighting for by making Kathy look bad. So it's just this big corporate Game of Thrones to me, where if you don't get what you want, public perception isn't on your side, you topple the king. And I think that's what she's trying to do. She did it pretty well.
Before you ended, I was thinking about this question as a competitor. Had she not have got hurt or lost, do you think she still would have came forward with that same attitude?
I don't think this was loser mentality at all. I think this would have been said regardless. That's my opinion.
That's the first thing I thought, you know, just because as a competitor, it's like, when you lose, you want to have stuff come out. But okay.
That's what I think.
I don't know. I just had to. It was a joke to me.
Yeah.
Hey, when I see white people arguing like black people, I chuckle. Hey, Alex is a little bit more responsible than me. I'm not. I'm responsible sometimes. It just matters when you catch me. Yeah, I say some ignorant shit sometimes, but I laugh to like throw you off. Right? So, but that's it for today. Join us tomorrow. We'll have our picks. And I told you, if you want a ticket, whether it's Underdog, FanDuel, DraftKings, one of these picks, whatever platform that you bet on.
Hard Rock Bet.
Yeah, and if you go back, all of my picks were locks. All of them. And just like I told you at the top of the show, all the stuff that doesn't work, blame the other guys. So just blame them for all the bad advice.
I'm your fall guy. Misinformation from DJ. Listen, dog. That's why you need me as your fall guy, bro. I'll take all that shit, dog. It was me.
Oh,
damn.
Oh, we was good.
Damn.
So we'll see y'all tomorrow.
Damn. That's crazy.
Hey, DJ.
Even Brian's?
That was bad. That was bad.
I take all that.